exercising to our health. This first interview continues the discussion on health and wellness as we welcome Liu Ciah, a diabetic educator of the ICDF Project, Wendy Smithen, assistant nurse manager at the Hemodialysis Unit, and Varsha Hull, staff nurse at the Hemodialysis Unit. Welcome to Good Morning SKN.
Welcome.
Welcome. Good morning. All right, so Mr. Ciah, I want to start with you as a diabetes educator. What is the job content of a diabetes educator?
As a diabetic educator, I need to visit every health center in this island monthly on their diabetes clinic. And I will consult with my clients to teach them how to stabilize their blood pressure and blood sugar. And through my work, I found many people have incorrect knowledge about how to eat healthy. Like they will consider all the plants are vegetable, but actually some plants like sweet potato, pumpkin, Irish potato, corn, breadfruit, those they are plants. They contain a lot of carbohydrates and do not have enough fiber, so they are starch. They are not vegetable. So in the end, people will eat two size of starch they need, but they eat 0 size of vegetable they need a day. So I need to classify with my clients, and this is my job.
Well, it's a very important job because I think that we think once we're eating those things, we're eating healthy. To hear you say it now, there are proportions or things that we don't know, and that's exactly where you come in.
Yes.
Okay. So if we eat sweet potato, Mr. Chan, we have to put vegetables with the sweet potato and not eat the sweet potato and the breadfruit together?
Yeah, we need to eat sweet potato with vegetable. Vegetable is leafy plants like cabbage, cauliflower, lettuce, and broccoli. They are vegetables. And vegetable can provide enough fiber. Fiber can slow down the speed we absorb sugar. So that's how fiber stabilize our blood sugar.
Again, Mr. Ciah, what are some of the common health issues that you've noticed in St. Kitts and Nevis?
The problem is, I think it's overweight, because through our study, we found more than 41% of people is overweight through BMI, and now I'm stable. I started a weight loss competition to let people receive the body composition analysis, and I found many people's body fat percentage is very high, more than 30%, and I still calculating now. So I think to exercise and do not eat too much starchy food, like especially rice, noodle, and bread. They will increase our blood sugar very quickly. Sugar will be converted into fat. So this is a very important thing. Do not eat too much rice, noodle, and bread. You can use other things like sweet potato, Irish potato, pumpkin, kidney bean. They are very healthy food.
Well, you're making me feel better already because I think I just started to cut those things out of my diet and I realized how they're affecting me. So thank you for that info. One more question.
Yeah.
In terms of the fat percentage, what is the acceptable?
For male, we need to control our fat percentage under 25. And for female, we need to control under 30%. Yeah.
All right.
I was just thinking when he said about bread, we are a bread federation. I don't know how we're going to work with that, but I guess we have to try.
Yeah. And some people will feel grain bread or or wheat bread is healthier, but actually some of this bread contain a lot of salt and fat that will increase our blood pressure very quickly. It's very dangerous things.
That I learned.
I'm tempted to ask you what you eat for breakfast.
Oats.
Oats. Okay.
Yeah, oats, plantain, green banana, they are a good choice for breakfast.
Okay, I feel better already now that I know what you eat.
Factors are hypertension, diabetes, those are the main two, but also you can have family history of kidney disease. That is also a risk factor. So if your mother had kidney disease or somebody in your family had kidney disease, then you're at risk for kidney disease. Also, old age is a risk factor of kidney disease. As you age, the function of the kidney diminishes, and so that is a risk factor. You have persons who are anemic or polycystic kidney disease, sickle cell anemia. That is a condition that causes persons to end up with kidney disease. Persons who has lupus, after a number of years, if they're not on medication and all of that, sometimes the kidney is damaged also. So there are many risk factors when it comes to a person with chronic kidney disease.
Nurse Hull, I just see you were giving the other nurse a little prompt about polycystic disease, and being a woman, and I'm sure for the other ladies that are watching, how does that tie into the chronic kidney disease?
Polycystic is polycystic kidneys.
Okay.
Your mic, please.
Polycystic is polycystic kidney, is not the polycystic ovarian syndrome that we are more familiar with as females. Okay, so it happens in the kidneys, and that continued can damage the kidneys, and that will cause chronic kidney disease.
So I'm a type 1 diabetic. Can that lead to kidney disease eventually?
Well, once your diabetes is under control, it should not, because we have persons who are diabetic for years and they do not become patients of chronic kidney disease. But the problem is when you do not control your blood sugar or your blood pressure.
Okay.
I know that you mentioned, in terms of chronic kidney disease, if you have a family history. I know you also mentioned old age as a risk factor. Are there any instances of chronic kidney disease occurring in younger people who have that family history?
Yes. Actually, at the dialysis unit, we have one young lady who is just 21 years old, and she was on dialysis from since she was about 13 years old. And she just happened to come to the A&E department one time, and with some complication, and then her blood pressure was taken, and it was high, and from that was it.
So it's possible. Is it very common for people with family history?
Well,
Family history of that?
Common, but also a risk factor, the other risk factor of hypertension or diabetes, because the family history would be that person has a family member diabetic or hypertensive too.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that contributes to that. All right, so obviously if you're going to manage chronic kidney disease, as you rightly said, you have to take your medication. Is that
Yes.
the only part to it? Do you have to eat proper as well?
Eat properly, cut out the salt from your diet. If you're diabetic, you can go eating a whole bunch of chocolate and ice cream. And, some of the older folks too, they don't want to drink their tea without sugar. They eat the porridge without sugar. But if you have diabetes and hypertension and you're going to have chronic kidney disease, you have to try to cut out of all of these stuff.
Oh.
So it's mostly diet when it comes to that.
So Nurse Hull, what are some of the stages of the chronic kidney diseases?
We have chronic kidney disease has 5 stages. The first stage, where you have 90% of the kidney function. So basically 10% is not working, okay? And then in the second stage, you have 60 to 89% working. In the third stage, you have 30 to 59%. So you realize it goes down, you have less functioning of your kidneys. And the fourth stage, this is where you would realize you might need dialysis, is 15 to 29% functioning of the kidneys. So your body, the kidneys function to excrete the waste matter, the waste fluid.
Yes.
So if it's not functioning, then you're retaining the fluid. Okay, and then you will get swollen, your eyes would be puffy, your feet would be swollen, you would be breathless. These are some of the signs and symptoms that would make you know that something is wrong. I should go to my doctor. The breathlessness.
Okay.
And then the fifth stage, which is kidney failure, where there's no functioning, where you actually need dialysis or a kidney transplant.
All right, so it's progressive.
Yes, over a period of years.
So no treatment can reverse the diagnosis, is that it?
Well, actually, we were on WinFM yesterday, and as I explained, it is better to catch these persons in an early stage. It's not going to reverse, but it can delay. Because if I'm going to a doctor and I'm at stage 2, then if I'm turned over to the nephrologist, or if I am followed up closely by my physician, then it would not reverse, but it would delay the process of me reaching to end-stage renal disease, which is the 5th and final stage.
All right, I can't help but think that living well, having these lifestyle changes early is better than having to be forced to implement them.
Yes, because after you have reached the 5th stage, then you have to have either, as Nurse Hull said, a kidney transplant or dialysis. And this is 3 times per week. Can you imagine coming to the hospital 3 times per week for dialysis? For the rest of your life?
No, I mean...
For 4 hours.
4 hours.
4 hours I'm to come to the hospital and sit down to drain everything out of my body?
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
And that is just the hemodialysis, because there's also peritoneal dialysis, and that is 8 hours, 8 to 12 hours.
I hope...
That's a lifestyle change right there. I mean, seriously, it's a full-time job.
That's a whole day of work.
And it's really costs a lot. No matter somebody will even become jobless because they need to receive hemodialysis therapy.
Wow. Well, your work is very important. I can't underscore that enough. So how does one find out if they have a risk of chronic kidney disease?
Well, you have to go to your doctor. What I would suggest that persons who know they have a family history of hypertension and diabetes, you follow up with your doctor regularly, whether it's every 3 months, every 6 months. And when you go there, you ask about your blood test results. You find out, how is my kidney functions doing? Not just your heart, because a lot of people tend to forget the kidneys. So they speak about the heart and other things, and they don't ask about the kidneys. So ask about the kidneys. You can go to the health center and they can do a dipstick, like put a stick inside of the urine, and then it might show that there is protein escaping in the urine. If protein is escaping in the urine, then they would have to send you to your doctor to do the original test. And if your creatinine and your urea, which is 2 elements in the blood, is elevated, then the doctor repeats the test maybe 3 times, and they would know if you're in kidney failure, whether it's stage 1, stage 2, depends on the values.
All right, so it's easy enough. You just have to be proactive as well.
Wow. So let's talk about some ways. Now we heard all that bad news. As you can see, my mouth just keeps dropping. What are some of the healthy things we can do to help with the chronic kidney disease and our control of our blood pressure?
You want to answer that, Ms. Hull?
So before you reach to stage 4 and 5, where it's really bad, you can implement lifestyle changes that would prevent hypertension, prevent diabetes. Some of these are, as children, we hear drinking 8 glasses of water per day. So you increase your water intake. All right, you can do regular exercises. This helps as well. What else you can do?
Have already had diabetes or hypertension, it's important that you take your medication as prescribed by the doctor. And as I said yesterday on WinFM, men do not like doctors. And so you find that men are the ones that will be mostly affected. A woman, if she has a toenail hurting, she would go to the doctor. But a man, he would be in pain and crying, and he do not want to go to the doctor. And it is very important, because if you don't take your medication, then you would end up with kidney disease. And also, men need to understand that if they are hypertensive, there is nothing saying that taking your medication is going to make you impotent. So take your medication.
Why do you have to catch me smiling? Like, seriously.
I got a nurse for this. Take your medication.
I have to say, when you said we don't like doctors, after today, we like nurses. All right, so Mr. Chan, I want to talk with you now about salt consumption. Yes, so what are the negative effects of consuming too much salt?
Okay, while we eat too much salt, it means our kidney need to work overtime to remove the salt. The more salt we need, the more working load our kidney need to deal with. And another thing is, salt will retain water in our blood vessel. So the blood volume will increase, then the blood pressure will increase, and high blood pressure will damage the circulation in our kidney. In summarize, our kidney cannot get enough nutrition and oxygen because the circulation is bad, and they still need to deal with a lot of working load, then the kidney will fail. So in order to prevent the kidney disease, we need to eat less processed food, because most of processed food contain a lot of salt, and do not eat too much bread, and drink enough water. For most adults, we can drink more than at least 64 ounces of water, and if you do not have any medical problem, you can drink 75 ounces of water. And the last thing is exercise. Many people in here have the knee pain problem, so I make some program for my client to solve their knee pain problem, because many people have the overweight. They are overweight, so if they stand up or do jogging or some exercise, it will set a lot of pressure in their knee. It definitely will harm their knee. So the first thing is increase the muscle in our thighs. The more muscle we have, the more protection the knee will receive. So the first exercise is very easy. Everyone can do this exercise indoor. The first step, put your hands on the thigh to feel your muscle, and lift your leg. Make sure your leg is flat and pull your toe back. Then hold for 10 to 20 seconds. In this position, you should feel the tense in your muscle, and after 10 to 20 seconds, change another leg and keep this exercise. And repeat this exercise 3 times a day. It can increase the muscle on your thigh. And another exercise we call is power knee. The first thing, cross your leg, and let your back leg push forward and the front leg push backward. So the 2 legs are against each other. You need to...
My core is not that strong.
You need to do more exercise.
I need to. Trust me.
Yeah, while you feel the legs are against each other, you need to keep exert the pressure evenly. Yeah, and while we do this exercise, we will increase the muscle in the interior thigh. And the last exercise, you need to stand up. Okay. Hold a chair back. Yes, and hold the chair back, and lift your legs to the side.
I can do that.
And remember to let your heel lead out and your toe lead in. So you should feel the tense in your hip. You are increasing your external thigh muscle.
I do this all the time.
And hold for 10 to 20 seconds. Okay, let's relax. Then repeat this exercise 3 times a day, and you definitely can increase more muscle. Your knee pain problem will be solved, and you can start to do jogging or power walk, speed walk. Yes.
Well, thank you so much. This is informative.
Yeah.
Easy enough to do, right?
Yeah, very easy to do. So every patient can do it, and no matter it's raining or the weather is bad, you can stay in your home, do this exercise. And while we do exercise, we can exert the sugar. So because actually, if we do not use the sugar, sugar will be converted into fat. Fats will accumulate in our blood vessel.
If we don't use sugar?
Yeah, if we do not use sugar, sugar will be converted into fat. And here, in this picture, we can see the normal blood vessel. The channel is big. Yeah, the channel is big. But if the fat accumulates in our blood vessel, the channel will become smaller. Yeah, and this is why we have hypertension, because the channel becomes smaller. Just like the water pipe. If the water pipe becomes smaller, the water pressure will increase. So while we're doing exercise, we can reduce the fat. And while we do exercise, our muscle can store more sugar because they are ready to do exercise anytime. But if we do not do exercise, the muscle will release the sugar to the blood, and then the sugar in the blood will be converted into fat. Yes.